Шил Прабхупада. Рамтасия, гнагна, шалакая, чакшурмультами, майши гуравенмаха, шичтани манопитам ступитмен пуцай. Серпак там хамдати сападан тикам, андехам шигушут паткам шигуру, шилпа. Скажем сапна. Дата ми там саджам стата сапут, спричам се там, шна чакаме тело, ще Кришна падан сака новата шипша там тавча. Кришна каруна синду дина банду джагат пате. Купеше гопика канта рата канта на мостите, тапта канче на горанги рата вектава нишвали. Фриша паносоте две парнауми хари прие. Ванта капа да рюпча, кай пасна попевача, пътите на павалева вишнавега на мона маха. Капунте на мишвите дадара си фигура в принда. Хари Кришна, Хари Кришна, Кришна Кришна. Хари Рама, Рама. Хари Кришна. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai the Gayatri book. Jai His Holiness Sacinandana Swami. Jai His Divine Grace Abhai Naravinda Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The last time I have in my trial to read the book, chapter 8.3, Gayatri and the Srimad Bhagavatam, and now I have reached this table where the Brahma Gayatri and Srimad Bhagavatam 111 were compared, and there are actually two tables. So Radha Mohana Tarkava Kaspati, a Gaudiya commentator from the 18th century, gives a slightly different schema in his commentary on the first verse. His correlations are as follows. So on the left side are Brahma Gayatri words, and on the right side words or phrases from Srimad Bhagavatam 111. So in the left one has Tat Savitur, Srimad Bhagavatam 111. Yanmadi Asya Yataha. Savitur refers to root, origin of all. Brahma Gayatri on the left side, Devasya, Srimad Bhagavatam 111. Svarat, the self-effulgent, not taking power from anyone else. Brahma Gayatri on the left side, Dhyoyo Nahe Prachodayat. On the right side, Srimad Bhagavatam 111. Teni Brahma Hrida. Relating to Prachodayat in the sense of to inspire. On the left side, Brahma Gayatri. On Bhurbhuvasva. On the right side, Srimad Bhagavatam 111. Yatra Trisargo Mrisha. Trisarga means the three types of creation. Brahma Gayatri on the left side, on the table, Bhargava. On the right side, Srimad Bhagavatam 111. Satyam, the effulgent maintainer. Brahma Gayatri on the left side, Varenyam. On the right side, Srimad Bhagavatam 111. Param, the supreme best. Brahma Gayatri on the left side, Dhimahi. Srimad Bhagavatam on the right side, Srimad Bhagavatam 111, Dhimahi. Not only does the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam refer to Brahma Gayatri, but its four most essential verses, called Chaturshloka, are also related to this mantra. This is a citation from number 18 to verse to chapter 8. This is actually Srimad Bhagavatam 2.9, 33 to 36. These four verses, Chaturshloka, were originally spoken by Krishna to Brahma. They contain the entire truth of the Bhagavatam in a nutshell. In his teachings to Prakashananda Saraswati, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains why Srila Vyasadeva compiled the Srimad Bhagavatam as a commentary on the Gayatri mantra. So now the citation number 18. Note number 18 shows the citation. Note number 18 to note 19. Note number 19 to chapter 8. This is Charitamrita Madhya Lila 25, 94 to 97. The following purport is from text 97. The meaning of the sound vibration Omkara is present in the Gayatri mantra. The same is elaborately explained in the 4 shlokas of Srimad Bhagavatam known as the Chatur Shloka. Whatever was spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead to Lord Brahma in those 4 verses of Srimad Bhagavatam was also explained to Narada by Lord Brahma. Whatever Lord Brahma told Narada Muni was again explained by Narada Muni to Vyasadeva. Srila Vyasadeva considered that whatever he had received from Narada Muni as an explanation of Omkara, he would elaborately explain in his book Srimad Bhagavatam as a commentary on the Brahma Sutra. Srila Prabhupada comments, the sound vibration Omkara is the root of Vedic knowledge. Omkara is known as the Maha Vakya or supreme sound. Whatever meaning is in the supreme sound Omkara is further understood in the Gayatri mantra. Again, this same meaning is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam in the 4 shlokas known as the Chatur Shloka. The import of Vedic knowledge, the original word pranava, has been explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. The conclusion is that the Brahma Sutra and consequently the Brahma Gayatri as well is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, again, His Holiness Satchidananda Swami further writes in the book, let us examine how the Vedic conclusion is developed in its various stages. 1. Vedic truth starts with its most condensed aphorism, the Omkara, the Vedic symbol Om. 2. The same truth is further expressed as the Gayatri mantra, especially the Brahma Gayatri. 3. It then appears in the form of the Vedas. 4. Thereafter, this knowledge has been summarized as the Vedanta Sutra, the essence of the Vedas. 5. Finally, the Vedic conclusion is given its fullest expression in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the spotless evidence by which one can know the absolute truth. Srimad Bhagavatam, Pramanam, Amalam, and the perfect commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. These words here, Srimad Bhagavatam, Pramanam, Amalam, the resuscitation. This is note number 20 to verse 8. This is from Srinath Chakravarti's Chaitanya Mandusa commentary. The next part is point number 4 of chapter 8, the glories of the Gopala mantra. And I will continue my trial to read that beautiful book the next time with this part. Jai the Gayatri book. Jai His Holiness Sachinandana Swami. Jai His Divine Grace by Charnaravinda Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. I will try to read further from Vedic Wisdom tales. So, Jai, His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura Prabhupada, Jai, His Divine Grace Vaichara Ravrinda Shila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jai Shri Prema Priyojana Prabhu Maharaj, Jai Shila Narayana Maharaj, Jai Shila Gaur Govinda Maharaj. Now, yes, I will see if I have, if I find exactly from where I have finished the last time. So let us see. On the other hand, while Indra was on his way to heaven, he began to reflect upon Lord Brahma's words again and again. He thought, there is deep mystery in the advice that Lord Brahma has given. In fact, Lord Brahma has given much advice only to convey that the reflection is not an abiding eternal substance. Therefore, to research the eternal substance, it would be appropriate to surrender fully and listen to his words again. So this is a story, Brahma, Indra and Virochana. This story, chapter 2. Deliberating in this way and hearing and bearing wood for sacrifice in his hands, Indra again approached Brahma. Seeing Indra, Brahma asked, "O Indra, just now you had gone away satisfied along with Virochana, so why have you returned?" Indra replied, "O Master, a thought arose in my heart. After cutting the hair and nails, if this body is adorned with celestial ornaments, the reflection on the body visible in the water will appear in exactly the same way. Similarly, if someone is blind, has broken arms and legs, and water is flowing from his eyes and nose due to the attack of a severe disease, the reflection will appear accordingly. When this body is destroyed, the reflection will also be destroyed. Therefore, there is no benefit for me in knowing this reflection. This can never be the Atma." So the story was about the Atma, how to find the Atma. I will continue after some time. Now I will stop for a moment. Jai, His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura Prabhupada. Jai, His Divine Grace Bhaicharana Ravrinda Shila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Jai Shri Prema Priyojana Prabhu Maharaj. Jai Shri Narayana Maharaj. Jai Shri Gaur Govinda Maharaj. Krishna Krishna, Hare continue with the reading of from Vedic Wisdom Tales. Jai, Vedic Wisdom Tales. Jai, His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura Prabhupada. Jai, His Divine Grace Abhaichar Ravrinta Shila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Jai, Shri Prema Priyojana Prabhu Maharaj. Jai, Shila Narayana Maharaj. Jai, Shila Gaur Govinda Maharaj. So this story, Brahma, Indra and Virochana, was the story about they're looking for the Atma actually. So Brahma, Indra and Virochana. I will begin from the beginning of the story. So, once upon a time, Lord Brahma explained, the Atma is beyond sin, virtue, old age, grief, hunger, thirst, resolve, and uncertainty. Those who investigate the soul in accordance with the teachings of the scriptures and acharyas can realize it. Only such persons can become invested with all glories. Then the opulence of unlimited universes runs behind them to render service. When rumors about Lord Brahma's words reached the ears of both the Devatas, demigods, and the Asuras, demons, they began to discuss amongst themselves. As Lord Brahma has described, all opulence which is attained along with realization of the Atma is waiting for the chance to serve us. What is the harm in investigating the Atma? After deliberating in this way, Indra, on behalf of the demigods, and Virochana, on behalf of the Asuras, set off on the journey to approach Lord Brahma. In the absence of friendship between them, and being unable to bear the prospect of the other attaining this knowledge, they grew envious of each other. Finally, carrying firewood for sacrifice, they appeared before Lord Brahma with folded hands. They took up residence at the ashrama of their guru, Lord Brahma, and observed the vow to celibate student life, Brahmacharya Vrata, for 32 years. After this, one day Brahma asked them, "For what purpose have you come here?" They replied, "Some time ago you described that all opulence becomes subordinate to that person who can realize the Atma in the lotus of his heart. After hearing about your important teaching, we have come to you to search out that immortal soul." Lord Brahma said, "After abandoning all material desires, Vishaya Vasana, the Purusha whom the great yogis observe in their eyes is the Atma. Only this Para-Brahma, the absolute truth, is the basis of fearlessness, abhaya, and immortality, amrita, devoid of sorrow, ashoka." Neither Indra nor Virochana were able to comprehend the purport of this teaching of Lord Brahma. They inquired, "O fortunate one, among the reflections we see in reflective media such as water or a mirror, which of there is Atma?" So, among the reflections we see in reflective media, what of these reflections is Atma. Lord Brahma replied, that Atma is present in all substances. After beholding your respective souls in this vessel of water, if there is anything you do not understand, you can ask me. Both Indra and Virochana began to stare into that water-filled vessel with wine-pointed concentration, but they did not ask anything. Seeing this, Lord Brahma asked them, what do you see? Then both of them replied, Lord, we are looking at the Atma and its reflection from the pores of the skin to the fingernails. Then Lord Brahma instructed them, now cut your hair and fingernails, then decorate yourselves with celestial ornaments and look at yourselves again in the water pot. After following his instructions, Lord Brahma again asked them, now what do you see? They replied, we see only the reflection with cut hair and nails, adorned with beautiful ornaments. Then Brahma understood that they were not yet qualified to realize Atma Tattva. Perhaps later they will be able to take this teaching to heart. Thinking in this way, Lord Brahma said, this is Atma. This is the immortal and fearless Absolute Brahma. Then Indra and Virochana began to return journey to their homes. Seeing them set out, Lord Brahma said, both of them are leaving without having realized the Atma. Whoever accepts the theory regarding Atma Tattva from these two, whether he is a demigod or a demon, will deviate from the real path. Virochana, the king of the Asuras, appeared before the Asuras with a calm heart and told them his misunderstanding of Atma Tattva. This body is the soul. It is this body that is worshipable in the world. It is only through the service of the body that one attains this world and the next world. Due to the preaching of Virochana, the false doctrine of Dehatmavada, the body is the soul, is being propagated in this world today. People of demoniac nature are initiated into such misconceptions. That is why such people think that if a person's corpse is adorned with fragrance, garlands, and splendid clothes, they will be happy in the next world. So this is a book written from His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura Prabhupada and translated from Shri Prema Priyojana Prabhu Maharaj in English. So we see nowadays it has been not changed so much. This understanding that the Atma is the body is still here, also nowadays. Okay. So I continue to read. On the other hand, while Indra was on his way to heaven, he began to reflect upon Lord Brahma's words again and again. He thought, there is a deep mystery in the advice that Lord Brahma has given. In fact, Lord Brahma has given such advice only to convey that the reflection is not an abiding eternal substance. Therefore, to research the eternal substance, it will be appropriate to surrender fully and listen to his words again. Deliberating in this way and bearing wood for sacrifice in his hands, Indra again approached Brahma. Seeing Indra, Brahma asked, "O Indra, just now you had gone away, satisfied along with Virochana. So why have you returned?" Indra replied, "O Master, a thought arose in my heart. After cutting the hair and nails in this body, if this body is adorned with celestial ornaments, the reflection of the body visible in the water will appear in exactly the same way. Similarly, if someone is blind, has broken arms and legs, and water is flowing from his eyes and nose due to the attack of a severe disease, the reflection will appear accordingly. When this body is destroyed, the reflection will also be destroyed. Wherever there is no benefit, therefore, there is no benefit for me in knowing this reflection. This can never be the Atma." Brahma said, "O Indra, I have spoken correctly. I will repeat the instruction I gave you either regarding the earlier. I will repeat the instruction I gave you earlier regarding the Atma. You could not understand its meaning at that time. So hear it again after serving in the residence of the spiritual master for another 32 years. Indra followed Lord Brahma's advice. Then Lord Brahma instructed Indra, "The one who roams around joyfully in the dream state is the Atma. He is the immortal soul or Brahma, the remover of all fears." After receiving this advice from Lord Brahma, Indra became elated and departed. Yet even before reaching the other demigods, he began to consider, if a person is blind in the waking state, but experiences having the power of sight in his dream, then what truth is there in this reflection or of seeing? What will be the benefit of considering the dream self as Atma? In dreams, it may seem as if people are killing him. It may seem as if people are chasing him. It may seem as if there is something unpleasant. He may even seem to be weeping. I see nothing good in this. Pondering in this way, Indra again returned to Brahma, carrying wood for sacrifice in his hands, and expressed his deliberation on the subject. Brahma asked Indra to stay in the Guru Griha for another 32 years and engage in Shravana hearing. Indra followed his advice. So he will be already 90 since. Okay. Then Brahma said, "The Atma that is manifest in the state of Sushupti, deep sleep, that is the fearless, immortal soul or Brahma." So he will be then more than 90 years old after all, after the three times 32 years. Okay. So then Brahma said, "The Atma that is manifested in the state of Sushupti, deep sleep, that is the fearless, immortal soul or Brahma. Being satisfied with this instruction of Lord Brahma, Indra set off toward heaven. But after some contemplation upon this, a doubt appeared in his mind. Carrying sacrificial wood, he again returned to Brahma. Revealing his doubt to his Gurudev, he said, "If this Atma is illuminated by his own glory, then why does our sense of I, that is flowing continuously in the waking state and the dream state, stop in the state of deep sleep? You are saying that the Atma is unchanging in the nature, Sat Svarupa." Then Lord Brahma asked Indra to stay with him for another 5 years. Finally, Lord Brahma gave Indra this instruction. The Atma is actually Dehi embodied. The gross body of 5 elements and the dream body, Swapnika Deha, which is called Linga Sharira, subtle body, are merely the coverings of the Atma. And now there is a citation from Chandogya Upanishad, 8:12:3. I will try to sing it. Because if I try to read it, it will be not so successful. So, translation of that verse, Chandogya Upanishad 8:12:3. After attaining liberation, this living being is completely liberated from the gross and subtle bodies. He becomes established in a transcendental form, full of effulgence. He attains the real self and experiences it. He is the most exalted person. In the spiritual world, he remains immersed in relishing, playing, and the bliss of loving union, etc. By completely surrendering himself, staying in the residence of the spiritual master, Guru Kriya, and listening to the words of Guru Deva, Indra was able to attain this truth and become fully accomplished and successful. This episode from the Chandogya Upanishad proves that although 2 disciples approached a Jagat Guru like Lord Brahma because they had ulterior motives, Anyabilasa, they understood the instructions of the authentic spiritual teacher in different ways. Virochana, the king of the demons, could not comprehend the true meaning of his guru's words. Consequently, he propagated an opinion completely contrary to the scriptures. The demons accepted these teachings and are still doing so today. On the other hand, Indra, the king of the demigods tolerantly inquiry, pariprashna, and service, seva. Oh, sorry. Indra, the king of the demigods, tolerantly cultivated knowledge of Atma through surrender, pranipata, humble inquiry, pariprashna, and service, seva. As long as Indra had not completely heard and realized his Gurudeva's words, he did not think, "Now I have understood everything." He did not become ambitious to gain dominance over the demons. Only a disciple who surrenders himself to the Guru and is devoted to service, seva, parayana, can achieve Atma Tattva. By outwardly pretending, like a professional actor in a theater, to surrender, inquire and serve this authentic teacher, the authentic teacher, only and by harboring extraneous material desires in the heart, one is bound to become a propagator of the conception different from that of Gurudev. Although the mango and the neem trees on the banks of the Ganga consume the same water from the Ganga, the mango tree gives sweet fruits and the neem tree gives only bitter fruits. This is not the fault of the Ganga water. There is no miserliness, kripanatha, in the dispensation of the Ganga. Rather, the trees give results according to their qualification. Yogyata. Similarly, after approaching the same authentic Guru, one person realizes the truth of Krishna Tattva and another propagates a conception opposed to that of his Gurudev and tries to destroy the principles of pure devotion. Both Sri Ishvara Puri and Ramachandra Puri approached Srila Madhavendra Puri, the root of the desire tree of divine love. Both of them were initiated into the sannyas mantra by him, but by pretending to be blessed by the grace of such a Sadguru, Ramachandra Puri became deprived of the same. He became a propagator of impersonalism. Srila Ishvara Puri received real mercy. He became completely surrendered to his Sri Guru Pada Padma. So the recitation, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya-lila 8:31. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya-lila 8:31. Translation. Thus, Ishvara Puri became like an ocean of ecstatic love for Krishna, whereas Ramachandra Puri became a dry speculator and a critic of everyone else. Another citation, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Lila 8:32. The next verse. Translation, Ishvara Puri received the blessing of Madhavendra Puri, whereas Ramachandra Puri received a rebuke from him. Therefore, these two persons, Ishvara Puri and Ramachandra Puri, are examples of the objects of a great personality's benediction and punishment. Madhavendra Puri instructed the entire world by presenting these two examples. The next story is chapter 3, Nachiketa, and I will continue with that the next time. Thank you so much for your attention. Jai, the Gayatri book. Jai, His Holiness Sachinandan Swami. Jai, Divine Grace Bhaichana Ravinda Shila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Jai, the Gayatri book. Jai, the Vedic Wisdom Tales. Jai, His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura Prabhupada. Jai, His Divine Grace Bhaichana Ravinda Shila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Jai Shri Prem Priyojana Prabhu Maharaj. Jai Shri Narayan Maharaj. Jai Shri Gaur Govinda Maharaj. Jai Shri